JNTU College of Engineering, which is one of the government college in Andhra Pradesh. And then I wrote a state level exam or a country level exam called GATE, and then I did my master's at IIT Bombay in Aerospace Structures Division, and then I moved on to a PhD in Singapore. After that, I did a postdoc for 2 years, and then I secured a Marie Curie fellowship, and then I relocated to Belgium, and then the Marie Curie fellowship is related to a company, it's not to a university. And then I worked here, and I have been here for 5.5 years. And then I have been trying to find a job for quite some time. And this is where, and more recently, I think in the past 5 months, or 6 months, I secured about 3 or 4 interviews. In the past, I was able to get one direct call from Netherlands research government research center, but it's a defense, so they asked if I have a citizenship or if I can relocate. But I said that I need a citizenship and I can't relocate. But more recently, I received a passport, and now I'm free to relocate. But what is what I understood was I am receiving calls from material suppliers. For example, Henkel, Sabic, Exxon. You know, they are chemical producers, and they give materials to many industries.
Right.
So this kind of in the past 5 months, I received mostly from these 5 or 6 companies, and the first one was from France. I can't relocate, but I just gave an interview. It's more related to what I work, and it's in very small village in France. So personally, I never wanted to go, but I gave a try to get some kind of experience or warm up on interviews. And I couldn't succeed. But in the interview, he asked me if I can come there to visit the plant or to sign. But for that, I told that yes, I will come, because it's 5 hours drive for me. So I told him during the interview itself that maybe not, I can come, but only if the chances of me getting into the company is about 80 to 90%, so I can come there. I don't know if that has something to do with negativity or something, but so it's been done, and I attended Henkel. Henkel is in Germany, but I never wanted to go there as well, because it's I already learned French language, and now going to another foreign language, it gives another set of problems comes of. So I never wanted, but I gave a try again. But the technical round was okay, and then HR and the second line manager, not the immediate line manager. The first interview was with the immediate line manager, and it went okay. And then I moved with the second line manager and HR, and they were more of questions about how do you deal with the 2 kinds of projects, big project, small project, short-term goals or long-term goals, like this. So in that, I feel that maybe this kind of technical, this managerial kind of questions were too many, and I couldn't match their expectations or something. And I attended 2 more from Brussels, which is 1 hour drive, and it's in Belgium. Of the past 4 or 5, the first only one is almost 100% matching, and the manager was also very prompt in responding to me on LinkedIn and sending emails like that. And after that, he arranged me a call when I received the negative response. So he arranged a call for 15 minutes and said, no, nothing is wrong, everything is fine. We just while documenting the job roles and responsibilities, we never thought of some skills. And when I received the application, we realized that maybe these skills can add value to the team. So then we proceeded with that person. Out of 20 applicants, you were only 3. You were shortlisted in the 3. So we had to take one, like that he was telling. But in the same group, he gave me an advance notice about another upcoming job opening, and but it's a bit not very specific. It's about manufacturing also involved, but I'm more about failure or stress analysis, but not about manufacturing simulations. But I attended the second, and I understood that they work completely with different materials, and they don't know about what the materials that I have been working on. So I never felt that it's bothering me. But somehow, and I received only the last one out of all the 4 or 5, and received one from Sabika. It's from Netherlands. It's 30 minutes drive from me, from my home, and the recruiting manager is from India, and he interviewed, and he said, "Okay, everything is well, good, and I will get back to you." But later he himself arranged another feedback call to say that yeah, we are looking for manufacturing skills based thing, not only a structural, because the second interview, the last two interviews were almost same or similar. They are material suppliers. They work with pure plastic compounds. They want manufacturing or injection molding, blow molding kind of simulations skill set as well. But during the interview, he said that yeah, you can learn that, but the team who is located with whom I'm going to integrate, the team said that no, we can't give enough time or to learn about these manufacturing simulations. So that he said no, but he also said that there is another opening in US, Houston or Michigan for this, but in the feedback call, he mentioned that here I have more flexibility, so people can also learn, and they have more scope for learning as well as using the existing skills. But
So,
when I asked more about
yeah.
why,
So Rajnish, I think I
when
understood
I
your.
asked about, but
I think I understood your point.
yeah,
Let me
when
ask
I
you the
asked
question.
about the work permit, etc., yeah,
No, no,
he
I think
said
I.
that yeah, I also don't know. I have to.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. No, no, I think I understood your point. Questions. So I think your most questions are centered towards the the opportunities that you're having or the interviews that you're not able to shape up in as a final offer, basically, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And let me ask you a couple of questions first. This Marie Curie fellowship you have, is it it does it has a time limit that you have to be done and they are not going to give you money and you will be you have to otherwise move out, or is that
Yeah,
the
that's a good question. No, it's been over 2.5 years ago.
okay?
I have been with my company for 2 and 5 years. For 2.5 years, it's gone, and remaining 2.5 years, the company is paying me. But I need a job for my career growth because
Okay,
it's a
so
very small company, and it's
okay.
difficult. I can't evolve much.
Okay, okay. So you have a job right now, but you're this is all about you want to move to a next point and things like that. So you have a job.
Yes,
And what
yes,
this job is it about more like a lab work, failure analysis, simulation, and all
yeah.
that?
So it's like uh, the softwares like ANSYS,
Mhm.
Abacus,
Mhm.
Relazona. We have I work mostly with the composite materials like
So your
unidirectional.
job is mostly simulation and doing failure analysis, let's say, put it.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes,
understood. And it's a small company, you don't see a growth, you want to move out and look out. Okay,
yes.
got it. Let me ask you another question here. What kind of job you are looking for and where you are looking for? What's your geographical location that you are? I mean, it's not like you are looking in Japan or somewhere, right? What's your geographical
Yeah.
constraint and what kind of job for your next move that you are looking for? Because
That's the
right now the work you are doing, even big companies, right? Big companies, I can tell you, even the people who are at mid-career level, even companies like us, they do very similar kind of a job too. Just to let you know, it's a
yes.
big company. Also, I want to tell you one thing: big company doesn't mean stability. It doesn't mean that you can get fired anytime you want. It depends on projects, right? So people are working on projects. If the project is over and they don't have a work for you, they will come and tell you you need to leave. Okay, so just to give you an idea that the I want to understand more. As you said, I want to move to the next level. What kind of job comes to your mind? And then second thing, what is your ideal company? If I have to ask you, name 2 3 companies that you feel that these are your ideal companies. Go ahead.
So, uh, the first question, whatever you explained, also same happening in my current company.
Uh-huh.
But the problem is, for my works, they are mostly government funded.
Mhm.
Mostly, my billing goes to the government funded, and the commercial activities are the ones that drive the money to the company.
That is true for any.
And but for that, I'm very less. My footprint is less on commercial activities, but more on research.
Mhm.
In this process, my job always has a lower weightage in general when I submit jobs, when I use resources, everything. So that I'm not liking. But the same, and where I'm looking and what I'm looking for now, Netherlands, if we see, there's no problem with the language, so I'm okay with going it. If not, I wanted to be in a French-speaking regions, so I'm started applying for companies in France, which is not too far from me. And I did receive calls from Saffron. You may know what is Saffron. They manufacture. It's the same as a Rolls-Royce. It's a French company. So I am receiving calls, but again, I gave half of my interview in French directly, in French language, and remaining half for technical discussions I moved to
You didn't understand my question, Rajnish.
English.
I'm saying you said I want to move to the next level. I want to understand what is that level.
Yes. So it is like whatever the
The reason I'm
whatever the
asking
job
you
I
a
do
question.
now, like a development, failure analysis,
No, the reason I'm
they're
asking
also being
this question.
used in same companies. Yes.
Yeah. No, the reason I'm asking you this question, you made a good point. That's the reason I'm asking, because you are not a fresh graduate. You're not looking for an entry level position, right?
Yes.
So that is why I'm asking you this question. That when you apply in any company, and be very specific, so I can understand what are the roles that you're applying, that you are saying is my next level. What are those roles? Be specific.
Okay.
Second, what companies are you applying? What is your dream company? They say, I want to have a job in this company. I'm pretty sure you don't want to apply to the same similar companies which is as yours.
Yes.
So be specific on these 2 questions.
Okay. So the first question, the mid-career is what I am looking, and in the mid-career, they do the companies like Rolls-Royce or Saffron or Boeing, even Lockheed Martin, everyone, all the defense contractors, they also have a same job as what I do, but the same job is being applied for commercial purpose,
Okay.
for the product development,
Mhm.
for their knowing, for their certification of their products. So this is the reason why I'm moving a change, and this is the reason why I'm looking for companies like these who can afford these kind of activities.
Okay, let's go to the next part. So, and then you are looking for these big companies, big brand names, I assume.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so let me answer these questions one by one and then try to help you out. So, Rajnish, you have to understand you are a mid-career employee. Mid-career means less grassroots work, more responsibility,
okay,
right? And those are mostly mid-career level jobs are. So you will be a leader. You will be not be a you will not be a person. You are not supposed to be a person who just running the simulation and reporting to someone. You would be the person who is looking at the results and making a decision.
okay,
Understand my point? Okay, that's number one. Because that is, to me, that is the next career move. If you're doing the same thing as you do as an undergrad or a fresh PhD, that's not the vertical move. So, and
Okay.
then the question really comes, what are the skill set that you have to move to the next level? So I see your CV.
Okay.
I think in your CV, you should mention some of the leadership roles, some of the leadership activity that you have done. That is very, very important. Because, let me tell you one thing. If you are applying to a companies like Rolls-Royce or Lockheed or whatever for that matter, they're looking at, oh, we received the CV of this person. This person has 7 years of experience or 6 years of experience or 8 years of experience after PhD. They're not going to hire you for an entry level position. They're not. They're going to hire you for the entry level leadership position or management position. And your CV doesn't reflect it. You don't have skill sets that are needed to to say that you're a leader. Like, for example, in your CV, I don't see that you have done any project management roles. You have done a lot
Okay.
of simulations. That's fine. I mean, a fresh PhD can do it. You
Okay.
understand my point. And to be honest with you, I think that these things are important for you, because if you are gonna do the same job as a fresh PhD, you are not moving ahead.
Okay.
You are not. And let me tell you, every company requires people at that level and at the project management level or at the mid-career level. Mid-career level people are more of accountable. See, as you go up in a company, it's not about the work you do, it's about accountability. You get money for your accountability, decision making.
Okay.
You already have brain, nobody's doubting that.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm trying
Because
to tell you, no, so listen to me. So what I'm trying to do, that in your CV, mention the leadership activity, the project lead what you have led, what are the things that you
okay.
have done. And when you go for an interview, you want to make sure you mention that. If you go to an interview and being you 7 years of experience, if all they listen, you run the simulation and the results are very nice, that's all fine. But that you have to
Okay.
understand, they have to pay you 2 times more than a fresh PhD or 1.5 times more. Why would they pay you for the same job? Because trust me, the fresh PhD can do a better job, because people
Okay.
are smart. You know what I mean? I mean, for me, if you ask me, can I run simulation? Maybe a little bit. Can I do a better job than a PhD student who just graduated? No. So what is my asset then? The asset
Okay.
is experience. The asset is the activity. He can't make the decision. He or she cannot make the
Okay.
decision. I have the ability and the tools through my experience.
Okay.
And that is the only way
Okay.
I can move up. A CEO of a company or a R&D director of a company, do you think they run codes?
No.
So that's my point, that you need to think that way. Your
Okay.
thinking need to be different. You are still thinking as if you have just graduated from PhD.
Okay.
You need to change that thinking completely. And I can tell you, small companies, they are okay sometimes to hire people even 7 years of experience to do some basic jobs, but the bigger companies, they don't hire. The
Okay.
large brand names, they don't hire. They don't hire a 50-year-old to do entry level job. They don't. They hire 50-year-old to become R&D director.
Okay.
Okay. And as I said, your CV, I saw your CV, it talks about a lot of skill set, technical skill set, but what it misses is, okay, that's fine, but what decisions that you made, how that improved it, what team that you managed, what what what
Okay.
what what kind of as I said, what kind of leadership activities around there, what is the full spectrum leadership roles that you took, and where you managed the team and how team responded. Because trust me, those are the questions they will ask you at that level. Let me tell you,
Okay.
nobody knows as technical as a person who is doing it. Even your manager doesn't know shit.
Yes.
Like you have done PhD, right? Do you think your advisor knows how do you run that Python codes? Or the advisor have no idea. All he cares about the results and the
Yeah.
decision you make. He is the one there who see the results and make a decision after that. You
Okay.
understand my point? That's your role now.
Yes.
You are not a fresh PhD, so you need to get out from that mindset. And trust me, These are the questions that you will get. That's number one. Number two, you have this skill set now, and you are saying, I know Python code, I know LS-DYNA, I know ANSYS, I know this tool, that tool, and I do failure analysis. Why just failure analysis? I mean, you can do 100 things. You can do 100 things in 100 type of technical fields. Why just focused on doing just, let's say, for example, just structure analysis? You can do, I mean, if you're good in writing codes, you can do flow analysis too. It's just a code. All you need to learn. So diversify your portfolio also. See, the one thing you have to understand in the job market, and let me tell you, and I can speak about US because that's where I live right now. If somebody tells you don't have a job, I have never seen a better market right as of now. I don't know about Europe, but there are so many jobs, but there are no people. Only they can't find a good people, especially people who have simulation job. Trust me, I'm an experimentalist. I'm not a simulation guy. My background. For me to survive in today's field is very difficult as compared to people who have modeling background, because they can work from anywhere, they can do many things. So for you to say you can't find a job, is there is something wrong with? And I told you specific couple of specific things. So diversify your CV. Don't have, and one thing I always say to students or early career people, don't have just one CV. You can have one CV for what role you like. You can modify that CV and say, oh, there is a job in Airbus, which they are talking about, thermodynamic analysis, thermomechanical analysis for heat exchangers. I can do that because I know how to do simulation. Change your CV. You can have 10 CVs, doesn't matter. If there is a position in, let's say, some company and they need someone who can do data-driven analysis to look for some defects or whatever, or to simulate a flight for digital twin. You know how to run a code. You should have confidence enough to say, I can do that. Change your CV. Your bucket should not be this. It should be this, because that will you will grab more opportunity. See, once what you need to understand one thing. If let's say a person is a carpenter and he knows how to make a good table, do you think he applies for a job to make a table, or he can make chairs, he can make houses? Think about opportunities, because your skill set allows you to go broad, and that's just don't confine yourself to say, oh, I am the, let me tell you, this is not the way you will never gonna grow if you want to grow. Otherwise you will, for your whole life, you will be just doing the simulation, sitting in a room and giving results to your manager, and he's the one who's gonna go up. You need to go up now, not your manager. Understand my point? So work around these. So what I'm saying is work around these topics or these areas. And as I said, couple of things, just write it down. Multiple CVs. If you see a role out there, they talk about, see what you can do, how you can change your CV. And let me tell you one thing. When you make your CV, make sure when you are sending your CV, it has to be specific about that job. Just don't copy CV and paste it and send. Don't do that, especially if you like a job very much. Especially if you like a job very much, be very sincere about how you are sending CV and your cover letter. And then, as I told you, you may want to get some toolbox. You may want to get some toolbox where you can, some decision making toolbox. Maybe do some course in Coursera or somewhere on project management or something, some leadership. They people, you have to understand, people think that technically they are not important, but they are very, very important, because that's what they look for as you go up in the chain. And you mentioned, and also one another thing you mentioned about in your interviews, you talk a lot about you talk a lot about manufacturing roles, and so make sure that
I just lost your connection.
No, I'm saying in your discussion, you talk about sometimes you talk about some manufacturing roles. So make sure then when you can you hear me, Rajesh?
Yes, now I can.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
What I'm saying, you also mentioned about manufacturing roles. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you see any manufacturing roles, make sure your CV is different. So one of the things that you would like to do is do some course on Six Sigma, especially for manufacturing roles.
Okay.
That are very, very important, because all manufacturing cares about is not R&D, especially their manufacturing role. They care more about, especially, you talk about commercialization and product development, not much defense R&D. Move into more on the product mindset, and product mindset is all about delivering quality product day one, day two, day three, day four. It's not about research. And Six Sigma is one of the biggest tool that every company, most of the company uses it. And so get into that. Get a green belt or something. Get some courses, try to do, because that's going to help you a much way than what you do as a simulation guy, especially if the roles are manufacturing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So
I have I
why
have
I am telling this kind of
I have couple of more minutes,
okay,
Rajni.
it's already 4. Okay.
No, no, you can tell me what.
Okay. Because I do see roles of this kind of experienced structural analysis engineer, especially in Boeing and Safran. They need a people with more than 5 or 10 years of experience in simulation itself. So I'm for now I'm looking for these kind of things. So I will also include this project management skills in my CV
See,
to look for things, and also I will.
see, all I'm trying to tell you is, even the position says 5 year, 10 years experience doing some modeling role. You have to, they need to understand, can you communicate with our vendors? Can you
Okay.
communicate your results with your team? It is just not about a fresh PhD guy doing something and somebody else is making a decision. You should be
Okay.
making, if you should be not only be running the software, you should be able to make the decision and able to communicate. And do you know, can you do
Okay.
that? So this is what I'm trying to tell you. And that
Okay.
is the only way you will move ladder up. Otherwise you will stay there forever.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I got that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good, Rajesh. It's good talking to you. And as I'm telling you, in terms of job, I think you will get it. Trust me. I'm pretty sure you will get the job. You have your CV is very good. I don't see any issue or any problem with that. It just, you have to understand, it is not about getting the job. It's the job, right job that you like. You can get a job. You will get a job, but it's
Okay.
a job that you want to do. You like to do. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Rajnish. Nice talking to you.
Thank you for your call.
Yeah, sure. Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.